Hello and welcome to This Grand Life. I'm Julie Elstrup, your hostess of the show, where we celebrate people who have inspired and empowered us in our community. Today we are with Jessica, and she's got a story that she's going to share. She is an amazing human being in our community. If you don't know her, you should get to know her. I'd like to welcome Jessica to the show, This Grand Life.
Hi. So I want to tell you a story about the two little girls who inspire and empower me. I know it sounds a little cliche to talk about one's children. However, I truly believe that these two have impacted me and made me who I am, more so than anyone else. The reason is my husband and I waited a long time after we got married to have them. So they were planned, they were intentional. I'm a very strategic and forward-thinking person, and having kids has taught me how to let things go and that nothing ever happens the way that you plan them. My first one is 8 years old now. Her name is Gianna. She is brilliant, she is artistic, she has this beautiful voice, and she's very compassionate and sweet. She also is very emotional and has some issues with ADHD and tics. And to throw things on the heap with her, she has a sister with special needs. So my 6-year-old is Francesca, or Frankie. And we had some concerns. When I was pregnant with her, we thought she was going to come early. Fortunately, it was only 13 days early, but I discovered shortly after we moved here to Fort Collins, when she was 8 months old, that she has some developmental delays in speech, fine motor skills, social skills, in behavior. Oh my gosh, her behavior. And we thought in her cognitive abilities, which was terrifying to me, but so far she's in kindergarten and she's on level in all of her grade level work, but she still is working on her speech and behavior and all of those things. But despite all of these obstacles, despite the fact that she speaks at maybe a 3-year-old's level, she works so hard. She loves to learn. She has this huge personality and this enthusiasm for life. She wakes up and it's, sunshine and butterflies and rainbows, and she's just excited about everything. And she, despite all of these obstacles, she just tries so hard, and she's very receptive to learning. And so, going back to Gia, it's very difficult for her to have a sister with such needs because she requires a lot of time and it puts a lot of stress on her. And despite those things, she's still kind and loving to her. One thing that happened recently was Frankie lost her first tooth. And it just popped out one day, and I felt like the worst mom ever because I didn't know that she had a loose tooth, but she couldn't communicate it to me. And so, Gia's 8 years old and she knows all about the tooth fairy. And so she took it upon herself to be her little sister's tooth fairy. And so she wrote her a note and signed it with a pseudonym, a fake name, and gave her $1 out of her own allowance for her first tooth. I'm going to cry just talking about it. So, having these two beautiful, bright, shining little girls with all of these special considerations just really it makes me work harder, makes me want to be a better version of myself for them. And it just has really taught me mostly about acceptance and working for what's most important and essential in life. And that has given me a lot of direction.
Beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing. Beautiful, very beautiful.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jessica, for sharing your story of inspiration about your daughters. I have been so honored to get to know them and, of course, to know you. We appreciate that you've watched This Grand Life. Please give us a thumbs up, like us in the comments, share with your friends, and if you're interested in being on the program, I'd love to have you. Leave a note down below. Have a great day and enjoy This Grand Life.